Hey everybody, welcome to Habitat Issue Triage for September the 11th, 2018. Let's get started. Let's see, I want that one. All right, can everybody see my screen okay?
Yep.
Cool. All right, so first issue up in the backlog here, or in the needs triage column, is have package exec exit status always exits 0. That seems like a bummer.
We should just exit with whatever
whatever the caller
executing is.
Yeah, I think that's acceptable. All right, sweet. First one, easy mode. All right, next up, release process. Include the exact habitat package in package release in release notes. Huh.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, I mean, would we push this through? Well, it doesn't matter. I mean, it's a reasonable request, I think.
Yeah. Trying to think how we might do that with Expediter in the future, but I'm sure since it's our code, we have ways of affecting that.
Yeah. All right. Is that a I don't even know what to put this under, actually.
I don't know we have one for that. It'd be a seed chore at the very least.
Yeah, that's fine. We don't have to like.
Yeah, and this would be there's a vertical infra all the way at the very bottom.
Yeah. Gotcha. Cool. Next. All right, show timestamp of package promotions somewhere on a packages page.
Yeah, I think that's actually a great idea.
Yeah.
Right. With broader notion of like who promoted it, when it was promoted, additional metadata.
Exactly, the metadata.
Operations.
Cool. Hugo is not building on Builder. Oh no, not the mage file.
So we should, yeah.
Yeah.
It's core plan, yeah.
Core plan. A core plan, C bug. Vertical core plans. Cool. Failure to start Spec Watchers should be a fatal error.
Yeah, it should be.
All right, that's a supervisor thing.
It is indeed. It's basically the thing that watches for new spec files, and when it detects them, it will take action, loading or unloading. So, yeah, if you can't do that, that's an issue.
That's a paddling. All right. Habitat will not load service on Core OS. Do we support Core OS?
I didn't know that we did.
I think there's some stuff in our docs that say we support any 64-bit Linux. right? Or at least I've heard people say that. So I would imagine if we don't, that's kind of misleading.
Yeah, I just didn't know if CoreOS was based on the Linux kernel or not.
Container Linux by CoreOS.
Okay. Well, then that is indeed a problem and a broken promise on our part. This is probably I'm trying to remember if the CLI does the detection or if the supervisor looks at this file in etc group.
So
I know it's going to be in the core, core crate somewhere.
it's just Hab not being able to detect what group it's in, I guess.
Yeah, it's probably hard-coded to look in etc group, which seems like a normal thing to do. It just doesn't, like CoreOS, I guess, just doesn't put root.
Well, I don't
Oh,
think that we're hard coding anything to a file. I think we're just using like system calls at the end of the day. I'm not familiar with CoreOS, so I'm not exactly sure where the fix would be or how we would.
Would this be related to the running Habitat as non-root in, I can't remember the name of the other one.
Well, I mean, that's what is, I think that's what it might be tripping up on. Oh, no, this is a service.
Oh, I see. So in etc group, it's got wheel and core, or it's wheel is the root group.
So that would mean that you would have to set the package service group to wheel.
I think the supervisor always runs as the root user, right? And it's probably choning some files in Hab SVC to root. So it's the user that the supervisor runs as, not the user that your package runs as.
Right. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, you're right.
Anyway, either way, I think this is something that we should fix. Implementation wise, I don't know how to fix it, but it feels sort of bad to say that like we work on all Linux variants and we don't.
Yeah, this would take a little bit of research, but
yeah,
should be tractable in some way.
All right. Docker exporter, support building images from previously exported images. I think to do this, like each package would basically be a layer. So like core Linux headers would be a layer, core glibc would be a layer.
Or could you maybe provide an optional argument? So instead of going from scratch, you could build off of a given container image.
Yeah, I guess, sorry, I sort of dove into the implementation there too.
Yeah.
I mean, is this something that we would accept if somebody did a PR for?
And it probably end up depending on how it's implemented and whatnot, but like if we had something good that worked and was sane, I think we would accept it.
That's sort of my inclination as well. Okay, exporter feature. Okay. Docker exporter support custom and init templates. Oh, that's funny. I think, who is this? Yeah, I think he took this out of out of my side repo. That's how I implemented it. I mean, this is a tricky one because it introduces so much variance in how the thing runs.
Right.
Maybe. I think I would be okay with allowing people to specify a custom entry point to run, but not a custom template.
What would the functional difference in your mind for that be?
I think just the expectation of, well, I guess if you're like, I guess the entry point template would be like an advanced user setting. And you would just assume all risk if you're overwriting the template.
Oh, I mean, supplying your own entry point is probably also an advanced user thing to begin with.
Yeah, I mean, I would call it, yeah. Well, we can talk about my thoughts on that one in the next issue, because I think he's got 3 in here, all related to this. I mean, I guess this is probably okay. I can't say that it's going to get prioritized by anybody, but
Right. Yeah, I agree.
okay. Exporter. I'm going to put it in a vertical. All right. Can't upload to builder.habitat.sh from Mac OS. Oh, because we're using OSX's OpenSSL library?
Yeah. Well, we're using its certificates. I think we're using the Homebrew OpenSSL.
I wonder if this is something we can tweak in our nginx conf or Fastly settings.
That's what it might be in the Fastly settings because it looks like, well, I think Fastly is just passing through whatever we get. And so it probably is nginx. And I think that we probably could force it to be TLS 1.2 only.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because we have all the certs in the server conf in nginx.
Okay. That's something that we can take. Which repo is this in? Or is it filed against? Habitat.
Let's leave it there for now, and because there may be some other workaround, and then we can just kind of experiment with it.
Okay. All right. Have builder job status is returning an error on Mac workstation.
It's like a related issue.
Josh filed this one. Do you have anything you want to add on this one, Josh?
I think I just moved it from, I think Nell was the one that originally filed it. I just moved it from the builder repo to the head repo.
Oh, and this looks like it's the cert path isn't correct.
Yeah, it's okay.
Guess so. Is this just like a documentation thing, or?
So there was a previous issue where this was happening, and so I tweaked our Homebrew to basically install Homebrew's OpenSSL as like an optional dependency, and that fixed it. But somehow that stopped working just recently. So I'm not sure yet why, like what changed. Like I'm not sure what changed.
It was in the 0.61 release. I can bounce between 0.59, 0.61, 0.62, and 0.59 works, but 61, 62 have that error.
Okay. So let's say.
Do we upgrade our hyper in between there, and that's maybe doing something?
Seems
probably, like. Yeah. Bug. Okay. Bind gossip before dependent leader follower service is fully up. Was this an issue in the forums?
It was, yes. Yeah, this is a bug. We should do it.
Okay. Well, that's easy enough.
Yeah, sorry, I should have gone ahead and.
And that's in supervisor bug?
Supervisor bug. Yep.
Next up, support non-service packages. I am super thumbs up on this, mostly because I've already written a thing to do it. Just in a different flavor. I know at some point we could export non-service packages, but it got weird because we didn't know where the entry point was, so you ended up with like this defunct container. So I think just basically like all my repo does is like allows you to specify an entry point flag to a binary, and like we'll just execute that binary once and then die. We don't actually execute the supervisor inside the container. In fact, if you specify an entry point in this repo, we don't even include the supervisor in the container. So I think this is a good feature to have. I think that this is a really useful in like HPC environments. The sort of like one and done jobs that need to run once and just keel over. I think that's sort of what they're probably want to use this for.
Okay.
Case made. All right, perfect. Cool. On-prem builder not pulling down all packages needed. Is it because it's only pulling down latest?
Yeah, so on the auto pulling down of packages, the way it's constructed right now in on-prem is not really working well for a number of different reasons. There's other issues in terms of what the dependencies are for a given package. It's not currently pulling down dependencies, and then but the big thing is it's not transparent. Like it can run into errors and it'll log it, but it's not transparent to the user what's actually happening behind the covers. So there is another item to kind of rethink how we're doing this, and I'm almost tempted to pull it out of the core builder API and make it a standalone package that can be configured by the admin specifically to specifically what they want to do. Like here, he wants all versions, not just the latest, and that might not be something that everybody wants. And then have them kind of party on it as a separate thing. I know that there's some instances where that's exactly what people are doing off on the side. They're kind of building their own version of package sync for on-prem. So this needs a bit more discussion, a bit more work. I think it probably should be moved to the on-prem repo thing. But the problem is that we're not going to immediately get to it. I think it's going to be just a little bit until we're ready to get to this. So that's kind of a little bit of a sad state that we're in right now with this. But there is a log file that shows you if it failed, what failed, and they can look into that. And I think we've documented that. So that may be the first thing to start with, is let them diagnose what may be happening.
Okay. All right. I am going to leave this one right here for now, and then I'll move it after this call over to the other repo. All right. Strange have service load behavior.
Yeah, I was talking with Blake about this one a little earlier. Not quite sure what's going on with it. But it's definitely something to look into.
Okay. Do you want to look into it, like leave it in triage, or look into it, like move it to the backlog as an accepted issue?
Let's go ahead and move it to the backlog.
Okay. Okay. We need like a needs investigation.
Didn't we have one?
We have a needs discussion.
Oh.
Anyway. All right. Last one. Documentation links with anchor tags are partially hidden behind the banner. Oh, that's what it is. I always just assumed it scrolled too far. Yeah, I think this is something that could definitely use with some fixing. Yep, perfect. All right, that's it. Anybody else want to add anything else to the tail end of triage? Going once, going twice. All right. Thanks everybody for coming. See you all next week.